Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2024 and another part of this Newcastle United series where last time we went out of two competitions and faltered in our hunt for the Premier League to the point where now even the Champions League qualification is potentially at risk. So those defeats to Chelsea and Liverpool have left us in a situation where we are now level on points with Man City at the top of the table. We do have a game in hand, and Manchester United 1 point behind while we still have that game in hand. Liverpool are 2 points behind, so if we win today, then we will move up to 74 points. But Liverpool could close that down with a 72 point total if they win their game in hand. But then you also have Aston Villa on 68 points, so we're only 3 points clear of them. Lose today and we may find that they are starting to really close that gap in the hunt for the top four. Aston Villa have been fantastic this season and it is not going to be easy. We've got Spurs and Arsenal to play today. First up are Spurs away from home. They're only on 37 points. They haven't even hit the 40 point total this season, so I would expect us to win this game. But they have changed manager, they've got a little bit of upward momentum and they could prove a challenge today. The main benefit for us is that we've got a lot of players coming back to full fitness. Livramento's back in the team. We've also got Tonali back from an injury and Isak is fresh to start up front after being rested a little while up to now. And now that it's like a week between each game, we also have more time for players to recover so we can finally put our full strength 11 out there as we did at the start of the season when we had much less games than we did now than we do now rather. So it's going to be a tough one. I would hope that we can get the victory here because we've not won in 3 games now. 2 defeats in a row in the Premier League is never good when you're in those last few games of the season. And here comes Spurs on the attack. Skip to Maddison with a lot of room, finds Romero out wide, and Pope doesn't want to take any chances at that near post, so he does push the ball around the corner. Now Son taking the corner, comes back out to him, tries to find Basuma, and Torres has nicked it, and there's a 2-on-2 here if he can use it, but Van de Ven does well in defence. Ball sent all the way back to Vicario. Now Davies loses it to Almiron, who's gone for goal. Oh, that was so close. I can't believe that he just took a punt at that. He had to get that on target. I mean, I don't mind it falling short even, but you've got to hit the target when you're doing an effort like that. Give it every chance of going in. And he was so close there. I mean, it'd be really interesting if we do draw this game and the Liverpool win. But Isak here trying to change that, and target's in there. And Vicario with the save. But if we do draw this game and Liverpool win, then there's going to be like 1 point between the 4 teams at the top of the table going into the last 6 games of the season. That is going to be tough. But here's Tonali in a good position, comes back to target. The flag has gone up for offside. We are creating the more dangerous chances, but it is just not quite happening for us at the moment. Now Livramento finds the Sal's. He's bringing the ball forward, finds Bruno. Now Joe Linton. Target cutting in from the left flank. Oh, round the corner beautifully for Isak, and Vicario saves it, but Isak was indeed offside. We need a few more of those kinds of balls. That's where Isak was getting all of his goals. That and tap-ins on the goal line. But we haven't seen any goals like that in some time. We're just not hitting that XG. As Torres puts it in, it comes down towards Almiron. Plays it into Botman. He needs to lay that off, and he does to Target. And Target is not getting them on target. He gets into so many good positions for a left back, but his finishing is extremely poor. And it does cost us goals. And once again, we're over 1 XG without having scored. Our underperformance of XG is absolutely criminal at the moment. And that is what is going to cost us silverware this season if we don't turn it around soon. Now, Bruno with a good tackle finds Tonali, who picks out Almiron in space. He does a great run. Joelinton to Torres. And Højbjerg just gets it at the death. Vicario clears it down the pitch. We should deal with that, but Livramento's giving it away to Kelso. Makes up for his mistake and then loses out. And then Lascelles wins out and loses out. And now Kelso. Oh, this is it. We are being more Spursy than Spurs at the moment. I don't know how you win and lose the ball like 5 times in a row, but we did it then. And Newcastle just had so much space, took his time, picked his corner, and beat Pope. And it is 1-0 to Spurs. This is really, really bad for us. Let's see if we can make a change and get something to happen here. Going to try and encourage the team as well. See if we can make something happen. We need 2 goals now. Højbjerg finds the Kelso. Now Skip. It's just so painful that we're creating all these chances, all this XG, and just not taking them. Dyer to Højbjerg, round the corner for Maddison, who cuts in from the right. And he's made it to the byline, and he finds Richarlison. And that is surely game over. We have capitulated again in a must-win game, and we are throwing away our title here. Maddison, so much space. Defensively, we have been awful in the second half of this season. Offensively, we've not been able to put the ball in the back of the net. It's just like the combination of those two things. Like the midfield's been excellent, but defensively and in the final third, we have been so poor. Joelinton in, Willock blocked. Again, that's the 2 midfielders linking up there. But this is just going really, really badly for us. And it doesn't look like we're going to be able to turn this one around either. Torres has hit poor form at the worst time. It just feels like everybody has been struggling either with injury or form. And between that, there has been nothing going our way. But here's Botman on the attack. Forward to Joelinton. In behind for Isak. And he just blasts it over the top. For a man who scored 28 goals, he's got to be doing better than this. But 1.8 XG, 0 goals. It's blowing my mind. I actually don't know what else you can do. You've got a player with 28 finishing worth 200 million up top, and yet we're not putting our chances away. Pope now taking his absolute sweet time with a goal kick when we're 2-0 down with 20 minutes to go. Joelinton loses out. Højbjerg. Let's put it wide of the post. Oh, I can't even make any more substitutions. This is really, really painful. We were 8 points clear at the top just 3 games ago. And now we're not even at the top. Joelinton to Gordon. Into Isak. He was offside, but that just sums it up. Nearly 2 XG in this game now. Any advice for what I can do so that we can start scoring goals would be very much appreciated in the comments. Because look at that. That is so painful. I don't understand what has changed. But for some reason, we have completely choked. To the point where if Liverpool win, we're now a point off the top. We were 8 points clear before the start of the last episode. And it has completely disappeared as we go into a huge match with Arsenal at home up next. We are one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs today, so a win in this match could put us back at the top of the table. But right now, I just expect us to lose every game to the end of the season. We are struggling again with injuries. Livramento has picked up another knock, out for up to or over a week, which means that we're going to play Lascelles at right back with Shah and Byrne in central defence. I mean, we're so far from my first choice defence at the moment, with Botman injured, Livramento injured, and then Trippier still coming back from his broken leg. In midfield, we're okay. Tonali's not quite fully fit. And then up front, we do have our favoured front 3 for this match. But this is going to be tough. Arsenal struggling this season, but they are still a very strong team. Simon and Nketiah up top, but then Martinelli and Saka can do damage. They don't look super strong. They might also be struggling with injuries, but they're definitely capable of causing us a problem. Saka alone can do a huge amount of damage in this game. You can see City playing Bournemouth later today and Manchester United playing Luton. They're both definitely going to win their matches. Liverpool also won their game in hand, so as it stands, we will go top with a draw, but then all 3 of the other teams will have games in hand to make up the ground. Now here's Bruno back to Shah, Lascelles forward to Almiron. Now Lascelles over to Bruno. We've got room down the left. Joelinton finds Isak. He's in behind. And he does finally break his goal-scoring drought to give us the lead over Arsenal. We do have to win every game to the end of the season and hope that results go our way if we're going to take this title. But Isak there did very well with that little dinked finish over a Ramsdale who is carrying a knock. Interesting to see if he can see out the rest of the game. But that does open up to 74 points now, and we are 2 points clear of Liverpool. I mean, if we got another 15 points, we'd finish on 89. I think that's quite low for a Premier League title in the modern age. You probably need closer to 95 to 100 to win titles, with the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City around. But that's obviously not going to be the case this season. So it's a great opportunity for us to potentially win a title. But we do need to win every single game here on. Now Bruno plays it back to Shah. Forward to Bruno once more. Out wide to Target in a bit of space. And he's got a run in behind there. He plays it to Torres. He makes that run, breaks into the box. And Isak is there again to plant the ball into the back of the net for his 30th goal of the season. His 30th Premier League goal of the season as well. He's probably still not going to win the Golden Boot. Imagine getting 30 Premier League goals and not getting the Golden Boot. But that's almost certainly going to go to Haaland, unless Isak starts absolutely turning on the jets to the end of this season and we score a lot of goals. But for once, we are performing at or above our XG. It's been a long time since that's been the case. Arsenal very rarely threatening in this game. I am going to go to a slightly more defensive approach just because we have thrown away opportunities for wins in the past. Now we have Tonali on a free kick. In it goes, and it's cleared away. Lascelles still has it, finds Torres, and he has drilled it into that bottom corner for 3-0 now, and we do seem to be back to winning ways with a huge win over Arsenal. It's just so sad we didn't even beat Spurs. If we'd beaten Spurs as well, then this would be a lot better for us. But all things considered, if I'd been offered this position and this opportunity at the start of the season, I'd have absolutely taken it. 2 points clear. They all got games in hand, but only 2 of them can go above us by winning their games in hand. City and United also play each other before the end of this season. It's mostly Liverpool that I am worried about as we head into this final stretch. Now here come Arsenal, attacking down the left with Tomiyasu into Martinelli, ball over, and Asprilla there, a player I tried to sign in the summer, very nearly punishing me for not having done so, but it does just go wide. I'm not in a rush to make any changes because there's not many great changes that I can make. Maybe bring Joe Willock on for Joe Linton. Probably take Isak off and give Callum Wilson a little bit of fresh legs at the top there. But we are still struggling with fitness and injuries at the moment, so better to leave these players out, I think, for the last 5 minutes or so. Make sure that we get this win. Lascelles finds Almiron. Now Tonali, he's spotted Ramsdale off his central positioning and then just smashed that one on an arrow into that far corner. That is a beautiful finish from Tonali. Good movement from Almiron. Ran it inside and outside the defender. Pulled it back, and Tonali, first time strike. Ramsdale barely even moves as that flies past him and into the back of the net. And it does feel like we are back to where we're supposed to be now with this win. We need to hope that there's a slip up in the other games to come this weekend. Martinelli on the ball finds Pavidis. Ball goes out wide to Asprilla, and that is gone wide as well. We should get the clean sheet here, which would be nice as well. A little while since we've had that with our defensive difficulties of late, but we have got a very impressive victory under our belt there against Arsenal that takes us back to the top of the table, and we've got a favourable run of fixtures to come now to the end of the season. Man City 1-0, 7th minute goal, and then United winning 4-0 as well. So still tight at the top. Liverpool probably going to go top when they win their game. No doubt tomorrow I might just jump forward and have a look. They're playing West Ham, so I would expect them to win that. We have Burnley next. I might also have a look at the Burnley game. Now we have qualified for Europe. Not quite sure on the Champions League just yet, but let's have a look what happens in this Liverpool game. And they've drawn with West Ham. So it's down to goal difference now. We are technically able to win the title under our own steam if we win these last 5 games by enough. And even better, Aston Villa have lost as well. So there's 6 points clear in the Champions League races. It'll probably be the top 5 anyway with the coefficients, but that is a big benefit. I would love to get that title, but Champions League is the absolute must for our job. And that is a really tight finish. So let's go ahead and watch this Burnley game. And then next episode will be the last one of this first season with Newcastle. So very few changes for this game here. We do have Kieran Trippier coming back to form. And given that we don't have any huge opponents to the end of the season, I'm going to start just integrating him back into the team. And we can always swap him out for someone like Matt Ritchie if we are struggling in defence. Otherwise, the Sal's then can move into the centre next to Burn, but the team is largely as it was for the last game. Now, the big news since the last game is that Manchester City beat Manchester United 1-0, and Liverpool are currently winning 2-0 in their game, which has taken place at the same time. So you can see there, they're 2-0 up. But it means for the top of the table, it would have been better if any of the other outcomes in that Manchester game had happened. United winning would have mean that we'd have been clear at the top with a win today. A draw would have been perfect, but wasn't to be. City have won, but at least it's still in our hands. But it also means we need goal difference, which is very good news, as Tonali plants that header into the back of the net off that little cheeky Torres clip in from just outside the box. Torres did well there, picking the ball up, getting into good position, and then taking his time to chip that one back. And Tonali just had to loop that header over the 4 Burnley players, including the goalkeeper, stood in front of him because they all came too far off the line. And that gives us our 1-0 lead. Now, we do need to push on and try and get a few goals to try and overturn that Manchester City goal advantage. But here come Burnley. They want the points, and they've found Masengo. Ball comes to Jordan. Push them back to O'Shea in defence. Now Cullen forward. Now being penned back. The defence is holding up at the moment. Cullen all the way back to the goalkeeper. They haven't punted it just yet. And they're still trying to unlock us. And they have a little bit with Amdouni. Now Zauri has room. And he's found Amdouni. And it's 1-1. That was nice play from Burnley to unpick us there, but we should not have let that happen. We ended up with 3 players around Brownhill not winning the ball, then 5 all tried to swarm the striker, then backed off him, and then allowed to get in now. And it's just really poor defending, and poor defending has really cost us towards the end of the season. Now Liverpool are 3-0 up, so as it stands, it's going to be pretty tight at the top. Tonali over to Joe Linton. Now target round the corner for Torres. And it's come to Isak. And he's hit the bar. He had to keep that one hard and low. You don't raise your foot with that one. Ball it goes in and off the bar again. Twice off the bar. Which means that we are failing to take our chances once more. Which has been a huge factor in that goal difference shift as well. Not finishing all the chances we should. Huge slide tackle from Almiron. Achieves very little, but at very high risk of a red card. Now Ekdal back to Trafford. It's a bit like how they scored their first goal. Ball goes into Brownhill. We're swarming him. Not winning the ball. Now O'Shea. Inside to Jordan. And we have won it this time. Isak out to Almiron. 2, 3, 4. Charging through the middle. He's found Tonali. And Tonali cannot stop scoring his 10th of the season, but the referee is having a look for offside. I thought that was onside, and the goal has indeed been given. I've got a very good eye for offsides in this game. That looked onside to me. Almiron there, excellent touch. Oh, that was tight though, wasn't it? But Tonali is clinical right now as he makes it a brace for himself. 2-1 up against Burnley. And we would go level with Manchester City at the top of the table as it stands. Liverpool would move to 76 points, so there would be 1 point behind us. Now Brownhill whips the ball in, and again, they have equalised. I don't understand this team at all. We finally start scoring, and then we open the back door up time and time again. I don't know why we are struggling with corners so much, but we are conceding 2 shots, 2 goals for Burnley. This is a Football Manager at its absolute peak at the end of this season. It's really going to cost us. if we fail to win this league title. It's not going to get easier necessarily for a couple of years trying to win this title, because the other teams will spend a lot of money as well, so your competitive advantage does start to diminish. They've all been a bit average this season, but here's Almiron tackle in the box, and that is a penalty, which should be Isak to take it. Now, he has missed a couple this season, Isak, so hopefully this season he gets a goal. Oh, I'm slightly worried it's going to be Tonali. It is Tonali. Oh, but he scored. He's got his hat-trick. It's okay. He's probably more assured than Isak at the moment anyway, with the way he's been taking his finishes. But I just realised that it was going to be Tonali to take the penalty, and he does get his hat-trick. Keeper went the right way, but it was too well placed in that far corner, and we are now 3-2 up as Torres plays it forward to Isak out on the wing. Target can't deal with it. It's sent forward, but only as far as Trippier. Now Tonali takes it around the outside. Players in the middle. Oh, it was a poor ball across. He just sort of lost all momentum on it. And they're on the counter, but Joe Linton cleans up well. Now Bruno over to Lascelles. Because of that goal difference, I still need to push for more goals here. Trippier round the corner for Almiron. Tonali denied a fourth. Has a centre midfielder ever scored 4 goals in a Premier League match? That would be quite something. But Trafford takes the ball from a corner. Made a couple of changes here. See if we can keep the fresh legs and keep pushing this Burnley team to see if they can concede any more goals. I think I would like to make a couple of changes here. Bring on Harvey Barnes, bring on Anthony Gordon, and then leave it at that just in case we get an injury. It's been a few times this season we've got injuries that have taken us down to 10 men. But that Tonali hat-trick is huge as it stands. They want to bring Callum Wilson on. Given the goal threat that he has, I am going to agree to do that. Now Trafford sends the ball forward. 5 minutes left to go. I feel like there is another goal in this. It's just which side does it go to? Now target to Barnes. He's got fresh legs, fresh pace, and he looks for fresh Wilson, but it doesn't work out. Tonali wins the ball again, though. He's in the box, and he has scored a 4th goal. Sandro Tonali makes it 4-2 in this game. 4 goals for a man playing in central midfield, not as a number 10, not as an attacking midfielder, an out-and-out central midfielder getting 4 goals in the Premier League. Has that ever happened before? Because Sandro Tonali has just done it. And we are now 7 minutes of added time to see if we can get another goal and try and close down that City goal difference if we can. We've only closed it by 1 today, despite scoring 4 goals, because our defensive unit has been poor. But the main thing today was we got the 3 points. We have closed that goal difference down a little bit. And as you can see, it's us and City at the top of the table. Liverpool a point behind. Man United now 4 points back. It's going to make it difficult for them. And Aston Villa even further back. But they do have a game in hand. So it's going to be a really tense end to the season. There are 4 games left to play. And to be honest, I am tempted in the next episode to play all 4 of them so that we can really feel that title race pushing down to the wire. So it'll be a bumper episode next time. So do drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. But until next time, see ya.